Well, hello there, curling fans, and welcome back to the 2024 Everest Canadian Senior Curling Championships. We are at the Curl Moncton Curling Club in beautiful Moncton, New Brunswick. I'm Dan Holowitchik, and I'm joined in the booth here with Penny Shantz, your Olympic gold medalist. We have a full slate of the championship round out here today. We're going to be having the men all on the A shed and the women on the B shed. Our feature matchup is going to be a dandy between Saskatchewan and New Brunswick.
Right, and there's a lot of games out here that mean a lot to a lot of people. I know on the ladies' side, BC is playing against Quebec, and the winner will be into the medal round. The loser will be going home. So,
yeah, and in our men's, we do know that Nova Scotia and Ontario are mathematically eliminated, and they're on sheet A. And we'll be bringing you live updates across the board from the rest of the men's and the women's. We are also streaming the Alberta and BC men's game and the Quebec and Manitoba men's game on sheet B and C. And you can actually go to the TSN Plus or youtube.com/Curling Canada, and you can watch those games as well as the one we're going to be providing here.
right. So I guess I should introduce the teams. From the Caledonian Curling Club in Regina, Saskatchewan, skip Randy Bryden, third Troy Robinson, the second is Russ Bryden, and the lead is Chris Semenchuk. And from the Curl Moncton Curling Club, so the hometown team from New Brunswick, Mike Kennedy is the skip, Mark Lecoq is the third, Vance Lecoq is the second, Grant Odishaw is throwing leads rocks, and their alternate is Scott Jones. So if you think that's confusing, I'm going to just go a little bit further on that. Because Grant Odishaw actually skips the game and throws leads rocks, Mike throws skips rocks, Mark throws thirds rocks, and Vance throws seconds rocks.
So we're going to apologize in advance because I'm sure we are going to mess this up somewhere along the line with who's throwing and who's calling. And
I have good notes, and I know the guys a little bit, so hopefully we get it. I've also asked Terry Odishaw to come up here and sit next to me so that he can correct us if we're wrong.
Right. So, as I mentioned, good men's matchup here, and this could be a carbon copy of our final. Both these teams are at the top of the standings. A win here for Saskatchewan would put them in first place all alone. A loss, and there could be, we need to go back to who beat who or draws to the button. We'll keep track of all that information for you. And if you want, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard for all of the current scores and the standings and the draw to the button results.
So what we do know right now is that both these teams are in the medal round tomorrow.
Correct.
Not the other sheet.
So ready to start this game, we have Saskatchewan with a center guard. They tried to come around and hung it out a little bit. New Brunswick got the corner guard and tried to eliminate the Saskatchewan rock in the forefoot, and it ran on them. They ticked it a little bit more in behind that center. So Randy Bryden
Line's good.
attempting to come around his own guard here.
Where?
Lie two.
5, 7.
Okay, now they're really trying to screw us up here. Troy Bryden is wearing Randy Bryden's jacket.
Line's coming. Here it
Oh,
is.
They're messing around with
So
us.
for all you viewers, we've been having fun with the curlers, and I think they're trying to get back at us here. So
Keep her rolling. Keep her going. Keep her going.
Randy
Troy
Bryden is the
Robinson
skip.
and Chris Semenchuk are doing the sweeping. They bring that one into the top 12, fully open. Double is accessible here.
Roll under.
So Grant Odishaw asking a second man to hit and roll under, maybe get the double.
New Brunswick was successful in getting last stone here, so they've got last stone in the first end.
So Vance Lecoq, second for New Brunswick. Looking for a hit and roll under or the double. This is moving on him in between the forefoot line, and not going to get it by that guard. Racks on the guard, rolls out of the rings and eliminates the guard. So
I don't think that's a bad thing. They've got the last rock, so don't
They
really
do.
need anything up front. Keep it clean.
that was a good opportunity to get one and roll under and maybe put the pressure on the other way. He can't guard both rocks here. So it'll be interesting to see where this one ends up. If he starts the high one that can possibly get a double.
A little bit.
3,
Line's good.
2,
Line's
3.
good. Line's
So
good.
these guys from New Brunswick are from this club, but however, they've got different rocks out there. These are the Canada curling rocks, Curl Canada rocks. They're not their home rocks, and the ice is touched up a little bit for them.
Keep her going. Keep
We
her
found out
going.
yesterday
Good
that the
work.
ice
Good
maker
work.
he's doing a little bit of extra ice maintenance to get even more curl. And we did see it a little bit more last night than today, but I expect the same tonight.
Yeah, conditions have been great. As we mentioned in previous broadcasts, that this facility was used last week for the U21 mixed doubles. So all of the ice makers, and not only them, but all the volunteers, drivers, everybody has been at their jobs for 2 good solid weeks here now. And definitely got a good handle on the ice. We've got some good Curling Canada rocks.
This is going on
that
them.
have some curl. And here the guys just grunting, trying to get that by, but they're unsuccessful. Rub the guard over. Looks like that red rock might spin out of the ring. It's got a lot of spin on it.
And I think he was a little light on that shot.
A little quieter than they wanted to. And
Did hang in.
I guess I'm just looking at that jacket of Russ's, and him and Randy could switch jackets. They'd be okay.
Well, there you go.
Hey, just an R.
A Russ and a Randy.
Correct. R and R.
Russ and Randy were successful in 1996. They won the Canadian Mixed out of Saskatchewan, curling with their sisters, which are well-known competitive curlers, Kathy Inglis Trowell and Karen Inglis. So it was an all-family affair.
Yeah, curling family.
And they were inducted into the
Nice shot.
Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame for the win.
So 3 rocks in play here for Saskatchewan. Nothing buried. They're all exposed. Grant selected to hit the shot rock and try to roll under some of the cover that's provided on the left side of the sheet. I think this is the trickiest spot in the ice. Just right inside that 4-foot line. You get it outside and it runs. And the inside ones, depending on your weight, can really curl up on you. We're trying to carve this one over. It's
And
just
they
gonna
are
end.
playing that tricky shot right in the first end.
Yeah, and that's just gonna end up with a nose hit. I'm sure he would have rather rolled either way, either on top of his back one or under some of that cover. So not a lot of ice taken here by Randy Bryden for Troy Robinson's first rock here in the third end.
Might have put this one out just a bit.
Hey, I don't know.
It's got nice controlled weight though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna get any roll under. Hoping to get right to the nose right now.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
It will hang around.
Okay. All right, let's make it.
Same weight.
Didn't get any indication from Grant if he wanted the double or if he's focusing more on the roll behind him. But I'm sure he's going to want either one of those. This is Mark Lecoq.
Both the same.
Curl. Curl.
No! Yeah, curl!
Curl.
Curl!
You know, Vance trying to carve this one over.
It's coming.
Keep
A
curl!
little more.
He's keeping it going. It does come up across the face, but only rolls a few inches. Still wide open, so Randy's he's liking the opportunity of just a nice wide open clean hit for his first rock of the game.
They're all throwing that nice control weight down
Those
this
are
spot.
fine, but
Everybody's overthrown it.
nice to roll a bit.
So you just heard him in the hack there. Nice to roll a little bit.
Was Troy a hard wall or?
Little
I've
bit.
been a little firm for wall. Yeah.
Maybe try to roll this a peak underneath his top yellow. Doesn't want to get across it too far. Roll out, jam the back. So I think they'll be looking to hold it straight, maybe let it come up a little bit at the end, and
Clean.
maybe finesse it at the very end.
Whoa! No!
Good looking rock. It's running down the line pretty good. Nice control weight from Randy.
Yeah.
Comes up a little,
Just rides that line.
gets himself a nose hit. You hear them already saying that it just rides that line. So
Something like here, I'd say.
I'd say they know this spot in the ice pretty good now.
yeah, so good chance for Mike Kennedy to get himself and his team out of the trouble here. Looking at 3 stones. He's hitting shot
Control,
rock.
Little flop, guys.
I know. Just straightened right out.
Go, Mike.
Good sportsmanship. Both those guys agreeing, talking about the ice.
Right.
We could try this way.
No, that's good.
No?
So
Okay.
they're sticking with what they know. Randy indicated they could try the other turn because this one just almost seems to run down the sheet, and they've had a lot of nose hits here. So Mike Kennedy, a former senior champion. I believe he's with Mike or the talent team. Now I gotta send our trivia guys to look after that one. I seem to remember that. But look at that one go this time. A little bit on the inside of that line. I don't know if he's a little softer, but that one definitely curled up more than anything else has done. He hits and rolls out. So Randy Bryden gonna have a good opportunity to here to you know,
Right here.
come around that tight guard of his in the rings.
Yeah, I'd go there.
And New Brunswick's going to have to make a decision here early to try the double or come down, and I'm going to think probably freeze or top. It's hitting that top one, it wouldn't even give them shot rock. So
Fair bit.
plenty of ice out here, well into the middle of the 12 foot. So we'll see if this holds up for the whole game, all the curl that we've got here. So last skip rock here for Saskatchewan, Randy Bryden attempting to draw around
Line's good. 6, 7.
his own center guard. It's on the top 12. Sweepers are indicating about top 4 weight,
Where is it?
but it's
6,
running
7.
it's running outside of that 4 foot line for a long time.
Up the other.
Right here.
This one's not going to get behind anything, so I think
that's
it's
wide open.
It's in the line where we've seen a lot of hits. They're taking it farther back, so there's less room for Mike Kennedy to maybe roll on a hit.
But I think he just has to play the straight draw and take his one and move on.
Right. So he does have that rock forward backing. He can come all the way down to it.
Just draw right to the 4 foot.
Full 8 foot would work, top or back.
Just a straight draw, right?
Yeah.
So straight draw. Just letting the sweepers know we don't need to use the backing or want to use the backing unless necessary.
This is a nice spot to draw down. You shouldn't have an
It just-
issue with that, and he just threw the
He just
last
saw-
stone draw.
He just saw Randy's.
I don't think it's heavy. Yeah, looks good.
Got room. Got room. No backing.
A little heavy, but I think
Curl it. Curl.
We do know in this
Curl,
spot if you're a
Vance,
little
curl.
heavy, it'll
Curl.
track on you.
Yeah, and it's staying out.
It's coming up
Keep
now.
going.
Yeah, and the weight's coming off pretty good here. And he's going to try to rub and roll it off there. It does, but it doesn't roll far enough. So Mike Kennedy with a draw for 1 in the first end. New Brunswick with hammer, scoring their first point in the game and take a 1-0 lead. We'll be back for second end action.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoy your way.
Line's nice.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Everest Senior Curling Championships in the Curl Moncton Curling Club in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Good.
We have a big matchup here. The top two teams in our championship pool in the men's. First end, we did see New Brunswick with the hammer being forced to one. And starting off the second end here, New Brunswick put their first rock in the top four, and Randy Bryden elected to hit that. So he's putting the corner guard up here on his second rock. So I know some skips, they don't like that first rock in the 4 foot. They'll try to move it around before they put the guard up. I know.
If it's in the 4 foot, hit it and try and roll to the side and then put the corner guard up with your second.
Right, and if you are a really aggressive team, then you put the guard up and you're going to try to run that one with a double off maybe later when the other team puts their guard up, or hope that it's tight enough. So
Randy Bryden has a lot of experience in Saskatchewan, and I don't know if you've played him, but his name's been around forever.
We have. And you know, it's no easy task coming out of Saskatchewan with former champions. A lot of former champions come out of there. Ladies side, so great province for curling out there.
Okay, line's good, line's good.
It's tough being a neighbor. They always show up in your backyard sometimes in some of those spiels.
Well, what about Sherry Anderson? She won at that title 5 times.
There you go.
I hear she's a master now, so I'm oh no, Sherry.
No. Here she comes. All right, so that guard over curls and a little bit high. Randy Bryden can see a good piece of this one. Good opportunity to hit and stay. Try to get this one rolling all the way across the house under his own.
Just a controlled weight.
Yeah, stay first.
Pretty nice curl here.
On
so
off,
we
on
should
off.
come up.
Yeah, good controlling. Nice gradual curl on this, making the line call a little bit easier.
Quite get the roll they
finish
wanted.
up. You see Randy just give his broom that little bit of a whip at the end. There's like, I missed that one a little bit.
Control.
It's like, finished up hard. I'll remember that for next time. So Grant Odishaw getting Vance Lecoq to hit this and probably stay in the middle.
Little wobble there.
Got the landing gear down just in time. Looks like a nice clean release out of it after all that. And Mike holding that one. Would have taken a little roll under his own red. Goes a little to the wide open, so we'll see if Randy goes offensive here and puts something around the guard that he has up there.
And he's going to go around his corner guard.
Yeah, because if you look at the line there, if he does fully bury around that yellow, he can be almost completely in the 8 foot and outcount that red one. If the red one would maybe have not rolled so far and stayed in the 8 foot, you might see him playing a different shot. So
it's not really a threat out there. Yeah.
No, and actually it might even be something if he is a catcher later in the end. So
6-7.
Lodge yet, Lodge. Here it comes. Line's good.
6-7.
yeah, we've seen these. They'll go to the wings nice here.
Right here.
Great ice conditions. Good speed. The pebble's been holding up. We haven't seen very many picks out here.
No.
Nice speed, guys. Short rest.
Got any?
Seen a cup, I think we've seen about maybe 2.
Yeah, and that's as tight to that guard as that rock could be and still be shot. I believe yellow got in there just enough.
And he is
Go,
shot.
Hack. If you
I believe he is
tick
shot, and
it's okay.
it's early in the end. I think that rock's going to get moved around a few times, so
Board.
Grant's going to get
Play
Vance
board,
here
and
to
if he-
chase this one down.
And if he hits the front guard and rolls over, that's not a bad shot either.
Board.
Soft board.
Curl.
Soft board.
Curl. Whoa, go. Whoa. Yeah, straight.
Yep, it's getting some bigger finish with that little quieter weight.
Hard.
Gotta go hard to get this by the guard.
Hard.
And he
Oh,
does
just-
that. The
The
one you
in-between
hate
shot,
the
the one
worst.
you hate
Yeah,
the most.
don't move it out of the way all the way, and you don't get the rock that you're shooting. So
Got to be either one way or the other.
that paper rub will kill you.
I guess they thought that they probably were going to get by.
Yeah, and you know
Unless he would have left it.
they did play it with that little bit of quieter weight. A lot of times, if you know that you're going to rub that one, you let it go, let it rack. They thought they could hold that one to get it by. Almost did. Little paper up. So good chance here for Saskatchewan to sit a couple rocks, and with both of them in behind the guard.
Coming around the center guard now. This will come at the end.
Kind of a center guard, but
You know, Dan, I think this ice is curling more tonight than it was this afternoon, or this morning, I guess it was.
we did get an update from our ice guys to see if they'd done anything different for this draw. It did look like it was straightening out a little bit more. This one comes around that guard and like
And out the other side.
It's open plus.
Right.
That was a very long guard, and we have seen him move a lot. So Grant and New Brunswick, they got to be a little careful here. Wanting to get a roll under, but might jam his own in the back.
That's right.
So
Be careful.
got to eliminate this one.
Firm control.
Mark McCock with the hit attempt.
Holding it out there pretty good. Backing it up.
And these sweepers are getting a workout here early in the game.
Go.
Yep. This looks well executed.
Shot mark.
Good shot.
Papers by his back one, gets as much inside roll as he can.
And now you got two red ones, I think. Well, it's hard to tell, but
Red, definitely that top red one is shot. From our vantage point, looks like the yellow is second.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So Randy Bryden wanting to eliminate shot rock and stay on the rings here. Don't know that he can get second shot on this one, but definitely put another counter in play and maybe get himself a big end. They jump this one out of the hand. Randy getting the early read.
you know, it's about halfway
great
down
sweeper by
that sheet
Chris-
that it backs up.
Chris Semenchuk is making it look like this thing's going backwards all day, and actually they got it too hard and he rolled outward to kind of cover that backwards. So
Something like here, I'd say, eh?
Too effective.
I think the both teams here got some pretty strong sweeping, and we're going to see them really manipulate a lot of these rocks here. So it's going to be on the skips to control themselves. And well, we've got a little bit of time here. I can give you a few updates
They're pretty good, eh?
on some of the sheets there. As I mentioned, the game on sheet A, Ontario, Nova Scotia. Both those teams are eliminated. It is currently a 1-0 for Ontario. Our game on sheet B, Alberta, BC. I think win and you're in, maybe in that one.
Just bored.
That's right.
It could be, depending on the draw to the button and where everybody rolls out. But big game for both those teams. Tied up 0-0 going into the second end.
And there's a lot of Alberta rocks in the house right now.
And on sheet C, Quebec, Manitoba. Quebec got their deuce in the first end, and they lead that one 2-0. Both those games on B and C are being streamed.
You got it.
And then the other ice shed, the ladies' games, McInnes PEI is playing Northern Ontario, and it's 3-1 for PEI. BC and Quebec, a must-win for both teams. The team that wins is in the medal round. The team that doesn't is out. So Quebec has taken one in the first end against BC, 1-0. Alberta, Tina Ford Johnson is playing Saskatchewan, and Alberta is up 2-0 in that game. And Ontario is playing Nova Scotia, and Ontario took one in the first, stole one in the second, so it's 2-0 Ontario going into the third.
And that is a battle for first place in the ladies. Both
right.
those teams undefeated going head-to-head. So back into our feature matchup here. Did see Mike Kennedy with his first one, hit and roll out, wanting to hold the rings and maybe sit two. So Randy had a look, and they were looking at a tap back on their yellow, but they've changed and they're electing to just come around this red one. That is a very high guard, and as you saw on that first one that came around there, it came all the way around the other side. So if he does get this fully buried, I think there's plenty of room for New Brunswick to come around and tap it out.
Hard. Where is it? 6, 7, 7. Hard.
So they're going hard on this one to hold it early, like not because it's really tight to the guard, but because it's curling so hard.
They
trying
want
to
to hold
straight.
it. Yeah.
So I think this guy's going to end up wide
He's
open.
going to be open too.
Wide open.
He's looking at it. Wow.
Something
like that.
Board, eh?
I think you might need a guard in the top 12 to want to bury around that one in the top 4 foot. That's really coming in there sideways.
So the advantage of being in first place, you're playing the fourth place team, and if your record is clearly in front of the other team you're playing, then you would get hammer and choice of rocks in the final. But if you have the same record, then you only get one choice.
Correct.
If you're established that who beat who, you would only get choice of rock color or the hammer. So of course you're going to take the hammer.
Most of the time. 99.9% of the time, yeah.
Unless they're really bad rocks.
Yeah. So Mike Kennedy, last stone here in the second end, looking to hit and stay. Hasn't overthrown this one. And we're close to the 4 foot line, and we've seen these guys back this up.
Back.
They do get it to go back, and he might roll out on this one the other way.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But he rolls actually in a really good spot. I don't think Randy's going to take any chance of running that back and trying to double it off and stay. He did just play a draw here, widening up the ice a little bit. That is a wide port. No guard should come into play, and he did just put that last one on the tee line, so I like his chances of getting his one.
Drawing against 2.
Looking at 2, has to hit full 8 foot at least.
We'll have to keep watching that spot on the right side there, because they looks like they're a little bit tight, and those guys put their brooms down, and all of a sudden it's 2, and they pull it out too far.
And it's curling that much with them trying to hold it straight. I want to see what happens when they try to make it curl.
Yeah.
Like, they can bury that one, you'll never see it. All right, so these guys on a little bit early. Sweepers think it needs some encouragement. See Troy, he's getting out of the way, ready to jump in if they need, and he takes a look at it from the side, and it's not heavy at all. So we got all 3 guys giving it a good scrub. They got to keep her going. Any bit farther they can go. I think they may have outcounted the one, but game of inches, I think we're going to see New Brunswick.
Steal of 1 for
steal
sure.
Of 1. I don't even think, nope, they're not measuring that second stone. So Sweepers do get it down there deep enough to outcount one of them, but New Brunswick outcounts Randy's last attempt, so they get 1 in the second end, a steal of 1. They now lead 2-0 over Saskatchewan, and we'll be back for the third end.
You make moments like these possible.
From cash spiels to grand slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Middle 12.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Everest Senior Curling Championships in Moncton, New Brunswick. Dan Holowichik here with Penny Shantz. And our matchup, we're featuring New Brunswick and Saskatchewan men in the championship pool. All the games remaining. This is the last draw of the championship round. The seeding round has completed this afternoon. And we're going to go into the standings here. And for anybody who's at home who wants to check this out and also the current scores, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard. So just looking at our championship pool on the men's side, you can see Saskatchewan in front 8-1, so a win here gives them clear first place. 2 teams tied at second, Manitoba and New Brunswick. And we have New Brunswick trying to bring Saskatchewan back into that pack. British Columbia currently alone in 4th place, 6-3. They are playing Alberta in a very key matchup there. And Alberta and Quebec, 5-4 records. And the 2 teams being eliminated already, Nova Scotia, our last year's champion, Fleming, playing against Ontario Rajala. And on the ladies' side, we have Ontario 9-0 playing Nova Scotia. However, if Nova Scotia wins that game, they both would have the same record, but Nova Scotia would get first place because they beat them in the round robin. So we'll keep our eye on that one. Alberta in 3rd spot alone at 7-2. And then we have a couple teams on the bubble there, British Columbia and Quebec, 6-3. Saskatchewan at 5-4 with still an outside chance. And eliminated, we do have Prince Edward Island and Northern Ontario. So Penny, we've all the games pretty much meaning something here, except for a couple of teams that are out of it on our men's here.
Right.
But some of the, I think the ladies can maybe play some spoilers on that other side. We'll keep you guys as close to up to date on the scores there.
Did have I noticed on the sheet 2, which is being streamed, the BC and Alberta men. And the Alberta men stole 3 in the second end.
Yeah, so a couple of quick updates there. We do have on our sheet A, that's Nova Scotia scoring 3, so they are now 3 up on Ontario going into third end. Alberta, with that steal that you just mentioned, 3 in the second end, now lead BC 3-0. The game beside us, we do have Quebec up 2-0 over Manitoba, and they're still playing in the second end there. Last rock coming into the house, and I can give you the play-by-play on that one right now. Quebec sweeping that one, but not far enough. It does stop for 1, so we have Quebec up 2-1 in that game. And over in the ladies,
the ladies' side, so BC playing Quebec, which is a must-win. The Quebec team has stolen 1 in the second end, so it's 2-0 for Quebec. The game's early, going into the third. PEI in Northern Ontario playing. PEI is up 3-1 in that game. Alberta, Ford Johnson is playing Saskatchewan, and Atina Ford is up 2-1. And the final game, Ontario and Nova Scotia for first place. Ontario stole the second end, so it's 2-0 there.
Okay, and back to our feature game. We do see a couple of rocks on the 4-foot area for New Brunswick. Saskatchewan with a couple of guards, but there is a potential double here. And it's looking like we'd have a couple reds go if it's hard enough.
That didn't.
Randy trying to sweep that hard enough, and it didn't quite get out of the ring, so little kicker around that corner guard that I don't think Saskatchewan will really mind with the hammer here. So Mark Lecoq here with a hit and roll under. First of thirds rocks in the third end. This one's coming off that line. Sweeper's trying to hold this one. This one's going to go on him. Gets a roll, but just over rolls a hair. Pokes out the other side of that center line guard. Randy will be able to chase that one down. Won't be able to roll under that center. So he's trying to roll under his corner guard and maybe on top of that back red, making it difficult for New Brunswick to remove. Troy Robinson attempting the hit and roll, looking for a little bit of a wide roll underneath his own yellow guard. Sweeping hard all the way down, trying to get that one by.
Doesn't quite.
Nope. Chips his own guard off, but he does put it on for a biter, and it sticks around. Almost got both of them to stick around and had a nice long split on that one.
So New Brunswick has a chance here to lie 3, being up 2-0 in the game.
Yeah, so Grant Odishaw changing gears a little bit here. He's going to spread the rocks around in the house, maybe force Saskatchewan to a single. Not wanting to put any guards up, though he does have one nicely in the 4-foot. So second rock for Mark Lecoq here in third end. Looking just hit and stay out there. And this one out in the wide stuff. I don't know if he got it all the way out there. A little soft. Sweeping it hard for a piece. Does get a chunk. Removes the yellow rock and rolls out.
Little hit and a flop, Troy.
So he didn't wanting really to stick around there and maybe even roll in some so that if Randy does roll underneath here, maybe he would still have shot rock, but rolled out. Giving Randy Bryden and the Saskatchewan men a chance to hit and roll under here and set up a good shot for their deuce.
Yep.
Troy Robinson's last rock in the third end. These sweepers are getting a workout here.
They are.
You know, great sweeping by Chris Semenchuk. As good as that was, he couldn't quite hold it enough. Stays in the open.
Kind of wait.
Picking control.
So wide open hit here for Mike Kennedy. He may want to try to roll back to the center on the other side of the center line. Get a good piece of the 4-foot, making Randy's roll under attempt a little tougher.
There and it still came up.
So you heard him say that even though this is running on that 4-foot line, it did come up on him quite a bit more than they expected.
Mike Kennedy. Mike did win the Canadian Seniors and World Championship with Wayne Tellin. And was it 2015?
Now you got me with the year. Where are our trivia people? Okay, looking for this one to curl up. It's running down the line a little bit. It's definitely hanging around. Comes up off the line right to the nose.
And he's lying 2 to
stays in the
course.
In the 8-foot. So Randy does have a chance to try to hit and roll under that guard and be shot rock buried. Not a lot of room for error on that roll if he wants to be shot rock.
This might run a little straighter as we get just a smidgen out here. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Good call.
Kind of wait.
These guys have been listening to our broadcast.
Yeah,
So
I
all
think
week
so.
long
They've been watching our game.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been mentioning that.
Depends on your weight.
Very, very weight sensitive. So they're going to try to time this one and hit it about 3/4 of a rock. Be a little less than that to get about a 3-foot roll. And Troy's going hard.
He's trying to hold it on that line.
Troy, that's Chris. He's going hard again.
No. And he got a nose hit.
And I think we've seen 3 from Saskatchewan come up,
Oh, yeah, no.
swept all the way.
He's got to draw.
Yeah.
You might want to roll, but you wouldn't hit anyway.
Chris is like, I'm hoping they're maybe going to take another inch of ice at some point in time. He's worn out his broom head already.
That's right. And you are only allowed to have one broom nowadays. You can't switch out your brooms like in the olden days. So
Yeah, one for the whole game. And
that's right.
unless you break it, then you'd be allowed to replace it. But if you slam it and break it, you go without it.
You might go out of the game too.
So we haven't seen that happen, not as long as I've been watching, but I have seen some equipment failures. Mike Kennedy looking to stick around here. Doesn't want to give Randy a chance to maybe the blank here. Look at the late finish on this one. Comes up. He makes that roll that everybody was looking for all in long.
So that's forced Randy Bryden into a straight draw for 1.
Yeah, and we saw him last end. Get out a little bit wider and come up a little bit light. He had perfect T-line weight when he was in the a little closer to the groove.
But in saying that, we played a lot of rocks down this spot in the first end, so
right. So this
should be okay.
This should be a good spot. And I think the sweepers, they got another one in them if they need it.
That's right.
So New Brunswick with a 2-0 lead, sitting 2 in the third end. Randy Bryden looking for Anything touching the 8 foot would be good enough.
Easy.
Yeah. Just a little bit of dusting on this one. Sweeper's not having to go so hard yet.
Yeah, they're leaving this one.
Clean it.
Yeah, wait for it to take the curl here. She comes. Nice little dusting here. And that's what he was looking for last end. Gets a piece of the Everest button. That stops right there for 1 Saskatchewan. They still trail 2-1. We'll be back with our 4th end action.
I love that curling is a team sport, that we're able to travel the world with friends and family and experience the journey with fans as well. The sport demands so much, whether it's fine motor skills or both physically and mentally taxing. And it's just a fun social sport that you're able to kind of make an extended family all over the world.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoy your way.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Everest Senior Curling Championships. We are at the Curl Moncton Curling Club in Moncton, New Brunswick. Our feature matchup, we have New Brunswick and Saskatchewan men's in the championship pool. Saskatchewan trailing New Brunswick 2-1 and without the hammer. And we were just looking at some of our most updated stats. If you guys want to check those out yourself, go to curling.ca/scoreboard. And if you do the math that we have done, based on the draw to the button and the standings, Alberta having the highest draw to the button, even if they win this game, based on
the standings,
they would still be behind.
Eliminated.
Come on, guys, get it there.
It would be behind BC.
BC is got the best last stone draw, so that comes right back to make sure that you're making that last stone draw count.
And that started right from before the event, right? The very first draw to the button, those numbers are kept cumulative
all the way through
for the entire, like during the round robin and the championship round. I think you're allowed to throw a couple of your highest ones out.
Really good line. Where is that?
You'll notice there's 2 people throwing them, and everybody on the team has to get involved in it as well. So
BC is playing Alberta. BC has 3 losses. Alberta has 4 losses. Alberta wins, beats BC, and knocks them down to 4 losses. But the last stone draw comes into play because they're tied, and that would eliminate Alberta.
Okay, so back to our action here. Got a great setup here for Saskatchewan with their double guard. We do have New Brunswick with one buried. They were trying to come in, freeze right on top of that one. They did hang it out a little bit.
Hurry, hard.
Leaving this double accessible.
Hurry. Yep. Little soft. Hurry.
A little soft.
11-12.
Oh, I think they can let this one come up. So Randy's going to try to roll with that. Shoot it a little bit and stay there.
That's good.
Did tap it a little bit hard. Didn't move anything out.
So Randy Bryden's team curls out of the Caledonia Curling Club. It was established in October 1915. It's been around a while.
I think there's some new paint in there somewhere.
Maybe so.
Some new paint. Well, that's a long time for a curling club.
That's right.
Softboard. Yep.
Well, that's the cock here trying to just navigate that yellow stone in between the 2 red ones and stay there.
Hard, guys, hard!
Mike sweeping on it hard.
Hard!
This is coming off that line.
Hard, Mike!
There's enough
Great
room there.
sweeping by Mike Kennedy.
Good job.
Perfect.
Now sitting 3 red stones is New Brunswick. Got a pile of guards up on the center line. Randy's going to try to play the hit and roll, and he's asked for a lot of weight to try to keep this roll pretty flat so that he can maybe use that red that he's going to go across. Try to hit that roll over underneath there.
Whoa, whoa. Close.
So we'll see what the firm weight reacts down this 4-foot line.
It's got a little more weight.
Just clean. Not on it yet.
Come on,
It'll
turn!
probably stay
No,
straight.
it just runs down there. He gets the roll though.
Good roll.
I think that's a pretty good roll. Rolls over to a cover that red on the corner and a little bit behind the guard, but I think it can be removed.
I think you can see a big piece of that rock. Oh yeah.
If it's like this, then.
3/4 of it.
Yeah. And it's
I like board here.
Yeah.
barely overlapped on it, so it might chisel that red over a little bit, but this yellow should be able to get out of there pretty easy if he can get anywhere near the nose or the outside of it. So last of the second stones here, Vance Lecoq looking to remove the yellow. Looking
pop that out a bit.
Looking for board weight, and they're
Soft board.
maybe a little full, so the board weight might save him here. And this thing's really covering it up too.
New Brunswick is really putting the pressure on the Saskatchewan team.
Yeah, and it didn't even touch the back. It rolls over, leaves a little bit of a pocket for Saskatchewan, but it is New Brunswick sitting 3. So Randy wants to play this. He's going to try to put something in the pocket and maybe get a jam, or get rid of one, roll on top, or roll under. That's what I think he's indicated.
Either or.
So a few options to play with here. Wanting to remove one, sit on top of the red, and if it comes up a bit, then he'll go for the roll underneath the center line guards.
Clean!
Must
For
be
Robinson's first rock in the 4th end. It's close there, yep. Whoa, on off.
No.
Pretty good.
It's hitting it pretty skinny. Uses both the rocks. Plays kind of the double on it. Doesn't remove it completely, and he gets the spin up on the yellow, but it's still open. So
Now
a little bit in the
Grant
middle of
has
both those shots.
Grant has the opportunity now to come around there and get a little flop inside and be behind it all.
So if he'd hit that outside one just a little bit thicker, he would have had a little bit more action off that back one and rolled underneath. So close on that one, but it does remain wide open and a good chance for New Brunswick to put a lot of pressure on Randy and Saskatchewan. Hit and roll under, buried, and on top of the button.
Soft tack.
So soft tack, quiet hit for Mark Lecoq. See if we can hold this one.
This one's going on him.
Mike Kennedy having to go hard again. It's close. It looks like he's going to get it by. You got to stay on it so they don't roll too far. And that rolled buried underneath.
I don't think I've jumped out of my seat as many times as I have tonight with them coming around rocks and just missing them.
That's socked away pretty good. So
it's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, don't know that Randy will be able to get to that one and move it. So for him right now,
Drop it in there, Troy.
with New Brunswick sitting 2 for sure, possibly 3 in the back, he's just going to try to put this wrap around and freeze that one on the top 4 foot. Troy Robinson's last rock, the 4th end. 6-7, so the sweeper's indicating the waiter's right around the 4 foot tee line. We do see a lot of break here. This thing's coming hard. He's by the guard. It's just a matter of how close he gets for this freeze. Got a really good looking shot coming here.
Go.
Nice shot, Troy.
And that's probably about as good as he could do there.
And I think he's totally shrunk his house.
Yeah.
He's going to be tough to get to now.
Just a guard, Mike?
Yeah, or
Oh, we have hammer.
we got
You have the hammer. But
Top 12.
I don't know.
Just short.
Just short.
So, and I'm kind of wondering too, they're kind of guarding, I think they're guarding for their one here. And with an outside chance to throw the draw on his last. Wanting to make sure that Saskatchewan can't come down and tap that yellow at all.
Gotta go, man, go.
I like that call.
Gotta go.
Whoa, lost line.
Yeah,
Lost line already.
that's pretty much a solid single here, and they do have a 2-1 lead. Not sure that this guard is going to really be of any benefit for them. Like, we've seen how hard they come from that side. But that's a very tall ask to try to promote that yellow. So Randy's actually just trying to maybe draw for shot rock around both of those, which is basically a draw to the button, right to the pin.
Over the top too.
Some danger with this.
Same way as last time.
Except the double.
Yeah.
I'll go in here.
Okay, a few options discussed there.
A very calm, soft-spoken Randy Bryden. We can barely hear him.
Is Wade, your skip, not like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very calm.
Is he?
Very quiet, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to get a rise out of him. I noticed that a lot of the good skips are. Even yourself, Penny, I notice you're pretty quiet.
I am quiet.
Except when you get a microphone. So Randy Bryden's first rock here. Trying to get a piece of the button and not leave anything for New Brunswick to get that yellow one out. So the biggest key here is don't set up anything to get your one that's in a good spot on top of the red, because that really cuts down their scoring here. Very tough deuce as it is right now.
Close. No, it's not.
This is gonna. This looks like he's got too much weight.
Yeah.
8, 9,
So now it's damage control.
9. Take it back.
And make sure it's a 9.
Yeah, it's back there.
Back there, 8.
Leave it here, though. Leave it
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Leave it here. Leave it
It's
for
out of harm's way for his top yellow.
It's not going to come.
It's
into
deep
play.
enough so that if Mike did want to come down to it, I think his yellow would still outcount it. So
Yeah, then we're screwed.
really good. That would have been perfect line on that one.
I think they
which
have
was hard
to
to
go.
do.
Probably something like this,
I think
right?
they have to go high on this one, and then
Yeah.
you know they'll try and come around it to the button.
Yeah. Probably like here.
Top button, why not?
Well, I mean,
But I don't think you can come in there with this shot, or else you're giving him an opportunity.
yeah, he's going to try to guard that, but Mike Kennedy's last rock,
guys
he will
like
need
that?
just
I don't see
complete full 4, and he might
He's
be able
got
to do
2
that.
rocks.
I know.
He might be able to get
Guard
that with the
line.
intern as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, after this guard
We're
attempt.
worried
but
about
Right.
putting one there.
He puts one there, and Randy's going to try to come around that, and
Yeah.
maybe he'll get it to move enough to get a good piece of that
I
button.
don't
So
mind top button.
How are we going to get 2?
Yeah.
Or do we want to...
Grant, let's go top button.
You know, if he does top button there, he could be setting up a double.
yeah, and that's why I think Grant is. Are you sure? He hasn't moved the boom over there, and then goes. He got him to change their mind without even saying or doing anything. He just didn't
Go
move.
for top 4, that's good.
These guys have played together a while. They
Right.
kind of know each other quite well.
To shade less.
Grant
Left.
also played for Russ
I got it.
Howard.
Curl
They
around
the
they were
more.
10 years together.
No more.
Went to 5 Briars, and actually they've both stayed at my house on Vancouver Island and in Coldstream last year doing clinics with Marianne Arsenal at the 2 clubs.
Yeah, I've
Just don't sleep.
known these guys for a long time.
Great line.
A lot of success in their curling lives.
Great line. Really good
Both
line.
sweepers really giving her here.
Yeah, gotta
Where
go.
are you guys going?
Gotta go.
Yeah, now they were like, where do you guys want this one? And
Go. Gotta go.
You're bouncing.
Bouncing lots.
Now that just gave them, they might be able to come around that, hit that red one a little bit onto the yellow.
yeah, I think
Is it risky to try this?
I would.
well, it'd be very hard for that yellow to move somewhere. I guess it depends what you're trying to do in this end, as we
right.
discussed before.
We can't hit it
Um,
enough to-
he
Or do
put
you
that
just give him one?
he put that guard up there, which kind of guards the 4-foot for himself.
The other is
guard.
this.
From that side, it's
Which one?
the yellow has a chance to
I
get
think
out
you're
of there
better off
easier.
on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a more of a
This
straight
one is
line
more
jam.
risk, I think. Like hit it high, they might both.
Yeah.
But I guess we have this one still, but
Like I shouldn't be able to jam it.
Like, we're just worried about getting shot.
You might chip it out and leave him lying 3.
I think he's playing that, the one on this side of the sheet. I think he's playing it with just a tap, with just trying to move it up there.
Right.
This
There's a
side
yellow
of the sheet,
behind
he
too.
could probably tap and try to move that one. So a couple slightly different shots from both sides. He could elect to just try to guard something to see that
You like, which one do you like?
Mike can't draw in there first, Deuce.
We're going to leave it red, maybe. This one.
See, Mike on the
Kill
right-hand
3.
side, the New
It's
Brunswick,
just tougher to stick
they leave that
there.
for him. He can play that shot pretty easy. Or not easy, but
And he
it's there.
can't guard both sides or both draws. So they're going to make a play on this, and they're going to try to sit one, maybe even 2 if they can get it. But it's going to have to go over that high side. I don't know if that's there.
I think that's all you can see is a third of that rock. Well, maybe half.
Yeah.
Or we just force them to 1 and go get our deuce next end.
Well,
Well, he's got the draw either side.
Yeah, they're in a little bit of a conundrum here.
good discussion.
This is good. Is that good ice?
That's good.
Whatever
Comes
way
down
you
to
want.
what the Skip wants to throw, and he wants to throw this one.
He wants to hit this fairly skinny. He doesn't want to hit all that he can see here because he's going to lose his yellow, but he's confident that his back one will be out counting it, so he's close on this one. Yeah, on it at the very end. Does he catch a piece of his yellow? Oh, he just missed
so
it.
close.
Just so close.
Draw it ours.
But it does open up this one side.
No, there's not enough room there, Grant. Or is there? No, I don't think so.
Has to go this
You
way.
got to be here.
Yeah. Because you chip the yellow, you're not getting there. You chip the red, you're not getting there. And I think you almost have to draw around that red from that other side. So a little more room on
I don't
this
think
side.
you can get shot. I don't think so.
That was a very close attempt by Randy Bryden there.
But he can get shot by drawing on this side. Draw first 2. If he gets 1, he'll go up 3-1, and he'll be happy with
Right.
that too.
Just
So-
a shade more, right?
Just a shade more.
A safe position to be in. There's really no risk to raise any of the yellows with this attempt.
I think it's going to be the same.
It should be.
So we'll see how this hooks in there from way out
I
wide.
think you'll get it. You'll get a good path in.
Does have to curl quite a bit from way out there.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a timeout out in the weeds here. So last rock for Mike Kennedy in the 4th end. Sitting one, needing a piece of the button for a deuce.
You might have to carve
Oh,
extra out
it
here.
might.
He might have given it a little extra out here, being out wide. No rocks coming out here yet, so
Close for line.
it's starting to come down,
coming
and,
down
and the
hard.
carve should start coming here. Sweeper should be staying close.
Whoa, whoa. Just for line.
Got a little bit of room.
Gotta curl. Gotta curl. Come on.
14 and a half on this. His weight's almost perfect. Oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't have got there anyway.
yeah. He could have. He just needed to be a little tighter with that line. I think that shot was there, but he does get a single point here in the 4th end, and we do have New Brunswick with a 3-1 lead, and we'll be back after our break with Saskatchewan and the Hammer.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house. It takes passion, and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoyed your way.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Hardline Curling Show. This week on the show, more Grand Slam glory for the world's top-ranked men's and women's teams. Canada's best senior curlers meet in the Maritimes, and we take a closer look at the program that's helping the next wave of Canadian talent carve a path to the podium. The broom is down, so let's get started.
In some cases, they invented some of the tricks that are being used out there now, you know, some of the sweeping techniques and some of the deliveries where they're able to get curl out of a rock that maybe other players can't. You know, these players know all these tricks, and it's a pleasure to watch them out there. And they're competitive. I mean, there's a real intensity out there when the games are tight, and you see that play out in the late ends. And that's what's been a lot of fun talking to them. But at the end of the day, they come off the ice and they're sitting together at the table with their opponents and having a beer like it used to be.
So it's called the National Next Gen Program. Let's start with the obvious question. What is it and why was it introduced?
So our National Next Gen Program consists of teams that are under 21, under 25, and under 27. So we've got 11 teams in our program, and they joined our program in different ways. So the two under 21 teams, men's and women's, they won our Canadian championships last year. And the under 25 teams, they won our Next Gen Classic, which is under 25 men, women, and mixed doubles. And then we've got under 27 teams, men's, women's, and mixed doubles. And they were based on CTRS and CMDR through an application process.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Everest Senior Curling Championships. We were at the Curl Moncton Curling Club in Moncton, New Brunswick. Special guest, we have Terry Odishaw joining us in the booth for a bit here.
Not the chamois.
Terry?
Thank you, Dan. It's nice to get the best seat in the house.
We do have a good one up here, yeah. And so do you know any of those guys out there?
Yeah, I've curled with a few of them. I think I've curled with my brother the most, obviously, but the last 10 years, I think we've played together, gone through a few things, COVID,
I never know. Thought he might split the tee.
missing an entry one year.
Yes, I heard about that one, yeah.
Yeah, that was nasty.
So what is it about you Odishaw boys holding the broom and calling the game there? You guys just like hauling out the commands, or is it just Mike's such a nice guy and he just likes to burn off some energy out there?
Yeah, well, Mike does need to burn some energy off. For me, it was probably mostly just lazy.
Keep it moving.
Well, you're pretty good at being lazy because you guys did pretty good. So I know the one year at where were you? You guys were undefeated going into the championship round, and
yeah, going into
well on your way.
The 1-4 game, and we had it was a good game. We just had one bad end.
Wow, and that's how it can happen out here. You know, we've watched a lot of curling, and then all of a sudden, boom, you'll see a big score go up on the board, and that's kind of deciding the game here. And
Gotta curl it.
Well, it was certainly a big score.
Gotta curl it. Yeah.
Sometimes they go in your favor, and
Curl it.
sometimes they go against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was at the Willie O'Ree, and what a beautiful facility for curling up there.
Yeah,
Fredericton
and they
does such
did. They
a
did a
nice
great job. You know, good ice conditions again. We've actually, you know, as a senior being in these events as this is Everest's 10th year, and I've been to quite a few of them. Ice conditions are always really good, and the guys come out here, they do a lot of work. You get some good rocks, and you can make a lot of good shots.
Oh, for sure. When the ice is in perfect condition, that's when you see the best of the abilities of the players.
Yeah, and also we're noticing out here, like I've seen a lot of the guys' teams, and these guys are definitely at the top of the cream of the crop for the sweeping. I'm hearing a lot of grunting and groaning, but I'm also just seeing the rocks kind of dance a little on the ice, and it's making actually, you know, as a skip, it makes it a little bit tougher on you guys if you can hold these things and all of a sudden you stop sweeping and they carve on you. And it's like, yeah, no, I was actually doing something there, skipper.
Softboard.
It makes you wonder about the other years when we were playing with the Haribrums and the Brownies and the Hammers.
And the corn.
And the corn.
Bracket corn. So back to our action here. We're now in the second half of our game, the fifth end. New Brunswick is leading 3-1. Saskatchewan does have the hammer here. We do have some guards up in play. So Randy Bryden sitting one on the open side, one to come around his own corner guard.
Yeah, Vance got a little outside on that one. Mark wasn't able to carve it back in.
And we're noticing on the wide sides out here that if you hit them early, you can really get them to almost like boomerang a little farther out, and it almost looks like they're going backwards on you.
Line's good. 5-6. Line's good.
The lines traditionally have been a little
tricky.
funky here.
A little tricky.
But you will see a lot of guys miss on the outside edges, not taking enough ice.
Yeah. Not getting the right weight and the you know the break point, the timing, right? You know, it's all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah, because you're throwing hit weights anywhere inside of that, and they're running pretty straight. But when you get out to the 12-foot, that's when you'll get them to snap on you.
And you don't have a line there as a guide anymore. You're kind of in wide open white space. So
that's right.
Yeah. So very nice draw there.
Control.
Fully buried.
Now board.
Well, maybe showing a little piece. And
they got a chance to chip off and roll behind.
I've got you in here. I was wanting to call him Terry. No, it's Grant calling the shots here now. And he's asked for a board weight. Hit and roll, trying to get back all the way underneath his own red. So Vance trying to squeak this by. He did. He's got phase one done. Rolling. And
perfect.
Not a great shot or what? Now it makes you kind of wish you were back out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's easy to say that when you got the lead and making good shots.
Look at that's perfect. Randy, he's got the thinking block going there. Wanting to get his deuce here, get back in this match. Looking for the out-turn tap or a freeze. Now it's freeze, so I think I'll try to just throw the freeze and maybe sweep the tap if it's available.
Still early in the end to set things up for them.
Yeah, and he does have his second shot rock out on the side there.
Wait, can't we?
Line's good.
7-8. 7.
Close. Yep.
We should see this one start swooping in here when it starts coming down, and it's like I said, finding that right break point. No, they might have lost a handle on this one. I'm just looking at it. It's not even spinning anymore. It's starting to take the other turn. So
Okay, good.
we may have had our first little pick, or it was a very soft handle to begin with. The sweepers did stay with it, bring it in. However, we can see those two yellows lined up for a double and maybe a little roll under here.
Well, it went from a really good-looking end for Saskatchewan there to
a one-shot turnaround. Yeah,
exactly.
So,
and that had pretty good weight on it. It would have been not frozen to it, but it would have been close.
Well, they did quit on it quite a bit early. So, and keep it when it does lose its hand, it kind of snowplows. It seems to slow down. So, for the hit and roll with a double here. Going across the face. misses the double and rolls out into the open.
It's all right.
So not the perfect shot, but eliminates that top one.
I think so, but yeah.
It's a tough double too. So
Yeah,
so I don't
that
know
yellow
if
would be the catcher here, so.
for sure.
So Randy can actually just hit this and roll back under, maybe showing a little bit so he can promote it a little later.
That's right. He's going to want to get this about half buried.
Yeah. And then he'll have access to that rock with both turns.
You like that?
Exactly.
Or? What do you like?
They're just trying to pick
You throw an in turn
the
too.
best weight, but they're also looking at that yellow guard if they're throwing the in, but they do elect to go with their out turn. Okay. I talked him into the other turn.
It's probably the better
They heard
turn.
me. Yeah. Still not a lot of them. They got to keep the weight up to hold it a little bit straighter so it does get through the hole there.
Yeah, once it gets by that guard, the yellow guard, it's going to be turning in pretty good.
Troy Robinson trying to get in the hole here and hit and roll under. This is really coming up on him. It's really skinny out. Now he's trying to skinny double, and it did come up that hard. Got it off the 4-foot, rolls to the back. Nobody did sweep that one.
Almost got to
And
come
it
around
stopped
there.
and it stayed for shot rock. Let's have another look at that one.
Yeah, they kind
At
of
the
big
very
break
end,
there.
they decided to switch gears, hit it skinny, and play the double. And Terry had to go actually there and rescue that rock from the other sheet, so he didn't get a chance to sweep that one back farther.
The other Terry.
The other Terry.
This one's not snapping in there. Ah, they got the nose though.
Yep, that's fine. They'll be sitting a lot of red rocks after this one. 1, 2, 3.
Line 3. Saskatchewan's
but-
going to have to come around.
Yeah, they've got a couple guards to work with here. Using the red one, he does have some red as the back. He doesn't need to go all the way back there. Would probably prefer to just stay a little higher, maybe a top 4, full buried.
Oh, even a biter would work pretty good right now. As long as there's room for 2.
Something in the paint here, yeah. Come around it.
Hard line, hard
Just
line.
bury some of it. Make it tough for Mike Kennedy and New Brunswick to remove. So 8's a little bit in the back 4.
We're going through.
Now it's going through, but I think it'll come down here. Once it takes this curl, it does start to come down quite a bit. Not sure it'll get all the way over to that backing though.
Good shot.
So got Grant sweeping that one
Freezer
like
or
an
tap?
Odishaw, and it stays for maybe shot rocks.
Freeze, eh?
Yeah, we're good for about 4 or 5 feet.
You guys know how to slow those down pretty good.
Sure
I gotta learn that trick from you guys.
Say something like here, eh?
Slow it down, carve it in.
Drive above the tee.
Much easier with
Well,
a
I don't know.
corn broom.
I don't know. I think your brother's
They must be
played some
tired.
front end on some pretty
Otherwise
good
you'd
teams,
drop.
and I think he's a pretty good sweeper.
Like freeze tap, like,
Their shot, are they?
yeah. It's back line kind of.
So Mike, back line, tapping that one out of the rings to sit 4, but they will all be kind of in behind the tee line for Randy Bryden. So Deuce still in play here.
Back line!
Oop, little
Back
heavy.
line!
I guess they're
Real good
knocking
line.
it out.
They were calling for back line,
Real
so
good line.
they're wanting to tap it out.
They'll be carving it soon.
Yeah. Here they go.
Whoa. Straight.
Is Vance for curling? Lance for Mark for straight. They get it to move up enough. They don't remove it, but it's good enough. There's all 3 reds in there.
Oh, Grant.
Pretty tricky triple right now. They're not
Yeah,
gonna be trying
I
that.
don't think he's going to take that on to try to bring that yellow, and I think he's going to just try to draw around here and try to get his deuce that way.
Skips deuce.
Yep. So first rock for Randy Bryden. In the 5th end, he is down 3-1
They're running
with the
pretty good out
hammer.
here,
2 rocks to come for him.
That out turn seems to be tricking them a little bit right now.
Yeah, and he did ask us, sweepers about the weight out there and stuff. They're saying that's pretty normal. So not too much change. Pretty consistent stuff here.
That's right. Russ has really held out for a long time, but he was back house.
Your weight's nice. We're there.
I think with perfect weight, this is going to curve right in.
Yes, the sweepers like the weight, so just going to try to get, they don't have to get tight by this guard to make it fully bare, because this will finish up for them.
Hard line.
They like the weight early. They're going hard on it now.
Hard.
I got a 15.5 on that, so
Fight the 4.
it's going to need some encouragement to get all the way to the 4.
Yeah, no problem.
Might overcurl.
Yeah, so good piece of the ice there. Well done.
That's
It pokes out the one side that if you had to show them anything, that would be the side you want, because if they do try to make a go at that, not seeing a lot, it might be jamming one of those back reds.
That's all I got.
Let's listen to what the boys got to say about how they're going to attack this.
He could freeze. He's got the draw. In off of. He's got all kinds of shots.
Yeah.
The intern freeze. It's a hard 2 for him.
Want to call timeout?
No.
Don't want to bust a lot of time. I think you got to play that.
Well, there's still plenty of time. Both teams in the second half of the game. Having 15 minutes
If
was
you miss
roughly
and
the
you take some
half
of
of their
those,
amount of
he's
time.
got to hit for 3.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, I really love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario.
You like that,
it's
Skip
2-8,
Terry?
3-3.
They like to come around, freeze on this side here.
He's got the in off of, yeah.
They will always have the outside to try to get around this one, because
You got this.
to stay on that yellow, they're not going to get much of that 4-foot, so they will leave him the whole 4-foot, and he can also come in off of that one, maybe even off of this one.
I don't know with this light.
But it does shrink the range on him.
Yeah, it's basically trying to leave the toughest shot for Randy. With that one in there so good on his first one.
Right.
A little bit of damage control here. A little defense.
Can they come off of their own?
Probably have to be firm, though, to get shot.
What?
Maybe the intern draw.
So interesting, they're thinking about using their own rock to either come in off of, but Grant's still looking at that intern.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're playing the intern freeze.
Yeah, they did discuss maybe hitting theirs and rolling. Would they be able to get shot?
Yeah.
And maybe they've decided that's not
have
there.
an easy draw even right now.
Well, the outturn he does, yeah.
They're not set on it.
No, you don't. You want this in there as tight as you can get it. You don't want to chap off this roll open. Maybe give an easy hit for the deuce. So Mike Kennedy attempting a freeze on the top yellow rock, belonging to Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got Mark and Vance on this one. Vance holding it straight early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark providing some assistance with the weight. And you got Mark thinking that this is going to cut on the guard. And it is. It's moving. It's moving
The
hard.
split's not bad.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah, split with a little hole makes it tough to come through and guards a lot of that 4-foot. So not a bad miss, making this that intern basically not there anymore.
I mean, there's room
And
there too, but here.
Yeah, they only have 2 shots. They got
but he only needs a piece of the 8-foot. He could basically hit that one on the nose, draw down to it. 'Cause that one didn't come into the 4-foot at all. So lots of room here. He comes down to his back one, I think, the one in the middle. So he can just hit off this one a little bit, rub in, draw, come down to this one, or just straight draw anywhere in
We
here.
can do anything over here, right?
It looks like back line ice that he's asking for. Rub off of something.
Straight here.
So we have seen these out on the wide that they do tend to run nice. So if he does give it just that little bit of extra, you know, he might just get that one on the nose and need to tick that one that's in behind to stay for 1 year. So
I don't think there'd be a lack of curling with that.
9-10.
Whoa,
9-10.
Line's good. Close.
9-10.
Close.
So through the rings.
It's hanging.
It does hang.
No.
Waiting for the break here. And Troy, he can't go on this because the weight's there. Wanting to get across the face. Looks like it's coming up nice. Looks like Randy's going to have a beautiful stone here. Yep.
Bounce it. Roll it.
Shot.
Yep. Beautiful shot there by Randy Bryden. Hits and rolls in. Stays for 2. Gets his 2 points. And we have ourselves a tie ball game. All 3-3. We'll have 6-end action coming up. Thanks, Terry, for joining us in the booth. All your words of wisdom. Are you helping coach these guys at all?
Only from behind the glass.
Okay, so.
I'm pretty sure they can't hear me.
All right, so we look for a lot of muted silence from you.
Yeah.
And some great calls. Thanks again. And we'll be back for the sixth end action after this. Thanks.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
And welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships.
Lots of room.
We're at the Curl Moncton Curling Club in Moncton, New Brunswick. Our feature matchup, we have New Brunswick and Saskatchewan men's in a 3-3 tie.
And I'm back.
And we have Penny back at the booth. Thanks, Terry, for joining us. We're going to run across some of the other sheets here with some updates. And I might do this out of order because we've got a lot of players in the house on the other sheet, and I can't even see the board.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with, go backwards. Sheet C, one of our other streaming games is Quebec and Manitoba. And you know what? Those guys, they must know I'm asking to do this because they're standing in front of all the scoreboards right now, and I can't even see the board.
And
I can't
my
see the
scores
totals.
are loading.
I can't see the numbers, so we can provide those when these guys are all like, it's like they almost all have a timeout and they're standing in the house.
Yeah. And I can't even go to the ice shed on the other side because the computer's not.
We're frozen. We're
reloading
frozen
right
up
now.
here. So we'll go back to our feature for a bit. And we've seen the center guard come up, biting the center line. New Brunswick coming around right to the top button. The freeze attempt for Saskatchewan on that rock came up a little bit light.
Yep.
But they're all in line in behind the guard.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, hard.
Yep.
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 Yeah, lock it on. Yep. Lock it on.
And New Brunswick trying to just corner freeze that top yellow. A little bit light.
Not bad though.
Does provide some protection for the shot stone on the button.
Well, just that one pass, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's out turn in the middle there.
What are we doing?
Tapping it up.
All right, now I can finally see the other end there. And looking at the game on sheet 1 between Ontario and Nova Scotia, 3-3 tie there. Our game on sheet B with Alberta and BC. And we have Alberta leading that one 6-1. And the sheet right beside us, Quebec and Manitoba. Quebec has a 5-1 lead in that game.
Line's good.
And we'll get to some of the ladies' scores when we get our internet back up and running here.
7, 8, 8, 9. 8, 9.
So we got Randy Bryden and the Saskatchewan team trying to come around.
Dig in the bed. 7, 8.
New Brunswick red stone. Stop on top of it. It does hang out a little bit. Nice weight in there. About half buried.
What?
Freeze right on the yellow?
Yeah. Red, yellow.
Okay.
Okay.
Could have swore Mike said freeze on the
He
yellow,
did,
but
he did say
okay.
freeze,
But that's that senior hearing, and
Yeah.
so.
Selective hearing, I call that in my household.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so I have some updated scores for you on the other ice shed. Let's see here. We've got PEI and Northern Ontario playing
Down a bit.
on sheet E, and it's 7-3 for PEI.
Yep.
British Columbia and Quebec. It's 3-2 for Quebec, and Quebec has a hammer playing the 6th end. Alberta ladies playing Saskatchewan, and it's 6-1 for Alberta. In Ontario, Joanne Rizzo playing Nova Scotia, and it's a 4-4 tie going into the 6th end.
Yeah, so Nova Scotia scoring a 3 to tie that match for first place on the other side there.
And the other big game over there is the BC women playing the Quebec women. And the winner of that is in.
When you're in.
Mine's good. Yep.
When you're in. I
Right.
like that.
It's a nice shot there by New Brunswick, the angle raise, and stuffed it in, left it for a perfect guard on their shot stone.
No. Or, I don't know.
I think he hit and flop away from there.
Yeah.
So Russ Bryden was trying to come around that one, maybe tap his yellow and make a little pocket there. Come up a little bit light.
Just hack.
Board. I don't know if I can get the inside.
So we haven't had very big scoring games here. There's a lot of play towards the middle, and when you have a lot of play towards the middle, you're shrinking houses, and there's only opportunities for maybe 1 point. You're looking for your 1 point at the end, whereas if you kind of sprinkle them a bit to the sides, you're going to get.
Unless you had a house that looks like our sheet 5, where they have all of the extra rocks on the side of the board, and there's like 100 rocks in there.
100 hogged rocks.
And you have the right color.
Yeah.
This is really moving up on him, trying to hold the line on it. Looks like it's going to bust onto that top guard.
Stay with it. Roll it on, Mike. Roll it on.
So it puts Saskatchewan on the rings. There is still shot rock for New Brunswick.
On the button, on the Everest.
With a very small hole for them to come to, and it is a little bit of a staggered guard.
So would it be an opportunity, like if you tried it, and if you took the guard off, that's okay, maybe?
Yeah, which guard would you prefer to take off here, Penny?
Well, there's 3 of them, 4.
Yeah, and I think actually Randy is calling to take that top red rock off. It's on the center line in the 12-foot.
Can we get through the hole?
You like this?
We can hit our own. We can only get through there with hit.
What are you saying, Russ?
Can we draw through the hole?
Do what? Huh?
Outturn, draw through the hole?
Yeah, what the front end is trying to discuss is whether they can get through some quiet way, just try to get in there. But with that hole being staggered,
that's a pretty tough shot there, yeah.
Randy's like, let's just get this one out, put another one in the rings. They don't have the hammer here, so
They don't want to take too many chances. It's a 6th end, right?
If they open this up, New Brunswick will have the chance to come right in there again.
We got nothing.
No, he might be through the hole.
Well, they might have wanted to change gears on that one if it would have got through the hole, but he didn't get it out of the rings.
No, that's an interesting throw there, because Randy Bryden was at the front of the house. Couldn't see the angles on the back. I'm not sure if they would have swept that. They could have got it by off their own and ticked the red one off and been behind cover.
Maybe even just a hit and roll on top, and he got maybe something a little more out of that shot, because really chipping that one off the side and not removing it. We'll see if New Brunswick makes him pay for that. Having the hammer, now we've got Grant asking to remove the yellow.
And he'll be lying 3, right?
Yes. Mark Lecoq.
Yep.
So that was an interesting call for Saskatchewan there.
Hard.
He's got it.
Going hard. He was looking for a little roll under. Didn't get the roll under. Left it in the middle.
And there's a double opportunity there now.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little roll.
I don't know if Randy's going to play a double in here. He does have 3 red rocks. He might need to freeze something, so it makes it hard for New Brunswick to remove his. Yeah.
Shrink the house again. On the button.
Same thing?
Okay, so he's in this with some weight. Trying to play just a hit and roll under. So the double was there, but he would roll away, and that would give New Brunswick a chance to get in behind here first. So Troy Robinson just looking for a little hit and roll right on top of that red one.
Just clean.
Not wanting to get shot, just to make the scoring area a little smaller for New Brunswick. This is Carlin up on them at the very end here pretty hard.
Oh,
that's a
Chip
girl
off
in
and
the
That
first.
thing
Going
just
open.
curled a lot more than Randy thought, and good sweep by Grant trying to get up, but it takes a big spin in and stays for second shot, so that could be pretty big. You know, removing the one and staying for second. I think we're going to see, Grant's going to just put another one right in on top of
Another one
that.
on top.
A little slower.
That's a good call.
Yeah, he gets that one in there. It's looking like it's going to be one red for sure, because that one, if it's frozen, is going to be very hard to remove with only a few rocks left in this end. We're at the last of third rocks for New Brunswick.
Where's the weight?
Mark Lecoq looking for a freeze on his own rock in the top of the button. Sweepers are going hard on this.
Yeah! Hard!
Needs the weight.
It's a little bit light there.
Needs the weight, but
It's probably a good miss, though.
it is a good guard miss, but
Guard miss.
there is a
Double.
outside double here that what a change around in the end this could be. We'll see how hard Randy can fire this rock. It is fairly flat, but
we make this double right
we've seen these rocks, they are quite lively. And you see Troy Robinson kind of cleaning things up, trying to get any debris out of the way in case he does hit it maybe too thin so that it's not moving very fast. So Randy Bryden with his first one in the sixth end.
Big shot here.
Looking for the double takeout. If you look at that ice he's taking, it's almost on the inside of this rock, like almost negative ice. So not looking for this one to really move at all. He needs to hit it basically where the broom is. And he's let it rip pretty good.
Whoa. Yes!
He's really close. They're on, they're off. Yeah, Troy wanted to sweep. He knew it was pretty thick. He got it, but he hit the back. And he's on the sweep on the outside. And he moves it out, I think, far enough to sit too. So, good double. Didn't stick it in behind there. Had a little over 7 seconds on that thing, so
Wow.
that was a little bit of smoke coming down.
Well, so far that's the IKS live player shot of the game.
Did you see that?
Yeah, so big turnaround once again.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
Each team taking some turns, moving it back and forth on who's got the advantage here. So
harder shot.
Actually, I like the middle one.
There's more room. More room for error on this
which one do you like here, Penny? Is trying to raise one in behind all that. You take the outside one,
I think the
got
outside
three
one.
guards to move it in behind. That middle one, you're going to have to start negotiating around that high center guard as well, giving you one more kind of obstacle. So I kind of like the one they've picked here.
I do too. And his rock's going to stay close
raise-
to that right there, so you do
Raise
it
to the
again
8 foot.
after.
Raise to the 8 foot. I mean, a nose will work here. And anything on the outside. Anything on the inside is going to expose this one wide open. And then we'll see Saskatchewan remove it. So
Jeez, he tightened up his ice here a little bit.
yeah, now Saskatchewan does have a couple outs on the other side of the sheet. They do have one that they can raise or come around into the 4 foot themselves. So Mike's going to want to put this one in the button area, around into the 4 foot for sure.
Must have been listening to me because I said, oh, he took a little bit less ice, and then he took it back out.
So yeah, anything outward
Wanna
out
tight
here
ice
we've seen.
yourself.
Yeah, he does need to have a little bit of weight to bump this one up, not just a straight draw.
Whoa.
So they got to stay close on this. We'll start to carve up on him. Right now the line looks good.
Whoa, it's good.
Looks
Weight's
pretty good.
Weight's good. Line's good. Got a solid bump.
Oh, yeah.
Good,
Oh,
Mike. Good shot.
And
Boy.
Troy taking it to the back button. That's buried
that's
in
a
behind
pretty
there.
nice shot.
Raise to the button.
I think all he can really do is shrink his house here a bit.
He's trying to see what Michael have left.
Good, Mike. Good shot. Boy.
For his
He
last
could
one.
try and come around. There's enough space there. He could
Yeah,
come
I
in between those two red
Well,
ones.
I think he could come around his own yellow and get
Could do
shot
that
rocked the way
too,
they
right?
curl in there.
Yeah.
I mean, he does just need a piece of the Everest button there.
That rock just slipped
So-
behind the tee line.
Yeah, so interesting here that he's actually playing, looks like the rays on his yellow.
I think so.
And
Right.
I kind of like
Got
coming.
that? Or would you rather just play a straight come
I
around?
like the straight draw
Yeah.
on this one, just because if he chips that top one and opens up, it's just going to make it a lot easier for Mike to draw in here. So if you just try to come around that one, he can come up short and take some of that whole side away and force Mike to come through that draw
we were in
through
here
that
today.
that
Yeah,
port on
small
the other
port.
side.
Yeah, I think there.
Okay, so we'll see. Maybe he has a good read on the line here. Just looking at that guard and the weight he needs here, I'm thinking he can get all the way to the nose of this one for the race.
So Dan, when you're playing with Wade, do you have a lot of conversation on the ice amongst the team, or is Wade pretty much the guy who calls the shot, makes the shot?
Oh no, it's George calls the game.
Oh, George calls the game.
No, just kidding. We do have a lot of input at the front end, and Wade actually listens to us.
Yeah, that's good.
So we have.
Well, I guess you have to have a team effort if you're a 2-time world senior champion.
But when we bring Barry in the fold, he's got a lot of experience too, and usually Wade and Barry can have it figured out, so we don't have to do much of that when Barry's around. So, but yeah, we do have the odd team discussion. This is looking really good from Randy.
Mine's real good.
It's really good. This is looking like another winner here. Has he got enough to get the button?
Oh,
my
what a great
goodness.
shot.
I can't even read. What is the name underneath that rock?
Underneath it. Oh, Everest?
I think that's
Well,
it.
I thought you were talking about the IKS live news shot of the game.
Oh, that might be. That
was pretty
that's
good,
a
right?
beauty. So that's why Randy played that shot, because now he left it also guarding that one.
Right? Yeah, if you throw enough weight, you wouldn't go over curl.
That was a great shot.
So interesting discussion
I
there.
like this one. You can't hurt ourselves. You don't see enough of
Yeah, we can't see on their screen. There is a high guard there, so that yellow that is right here on the rings, they can. There we go. They can only see the outer side of it. So what they're saying is they don't think they can actually hit this onto their own. So the only thing they can go is this way, trying to raise it into that one, out that way, and get their one by raising the opposition rock in.
And you know what? That's never a good thing. When you're, or if you're the opposition, you want them using your rock to do something with.
Okay, so they have elected to raise their own red in and try to chip that yellow out of there. And you know what? From this side, with that yellow in there, a skinny double could get that way and get this out. And that went out for 3. So opportunity here. That rock is edge on edge.
So he's called control weight.
You said control, Grant.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room by that guard. They might actually need it to just curl a paper by that guard, because he does need to hit the outside of it a little. So last rock here in the 6th end. Big shot here for Mike Kennedy. Looking for the run back. Take out first, possibly the double.
Yep. Whoa.
Yeah, I thought he got it a little bit out. It's hanging on the line. Looking for some movement now.
Starting to come.
It's really close here. Really close.
Got to move. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it did make a big move at the very end. And it just came up that little bit, but he got the shot rock, or he got the yellow off of the top of the shot rock and moved it out of the way. And he did stay for 1. So big shot there for Mike Kennedy. Good shot.
Great shot by both skips.
Solid single. Yeah, great end of action there. So we had some really nice shots. We do have New Brunswick score a single, go up 4-3, and we'll come back in the 7th end.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late-night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. And the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms. Made our way, enjoy your way.
Welcome back to the Everest Senior Curling Championships in Moncton, New Brunswick. I'm just going to give you some quick updates from some of our other games going on here. We now have Nova Scotia leading Ontario 4-3 in that game. One of the key matchups that we have out on sheet 2, Alberta has beaten BC. They have 8-1 on the board, so Alberta doing their job to try to stay alive. And I think they need some help on the sheet next door. We have Quebec and Manitoba. Quebec leading Manitoba 5-3 with the hammer. And obviously in our featured game, we just had New Brunswick score 1. They have the 4-3 lead with Saskatchewan having the hammer.
And on the other side of the ice shed, Prince Edward Island is beating Northern Ontario 7-4. BC and Quebec, the game that matters. Quebec is winning that game 4-2 going into the 7th end, and BC has the hammer. Alberta playing Saskatchewan. Alberta is up 6-2 in that game. And Ontario and Nova Scotia. Ontario is winning their game 5-4.
With Nova Scotia having the hammer in that battle for first place. So we've got a really good one here. Some great shots being made by both skippers. It's been quite exciting, and I'm thinking we're going to go down to the wire on this one. Saskatchewan down 1 with the hammer. We've got center line guard not quite touching the center line for New Brunswick, and we have a couple yellows on top of, and we're going to get into the freeze game here.
Again, in the middle. So this is a really good opportunity for both these teams. They're in the playoffs. They're in the medal championship round. And this is the sheet that they're going to be playing on. So that's a little bit of an advantage for both of them to get to be on the sheet in the last game of the round robin.
Yeah, and they'll definitely be paying attention to the rocks here. They will get choice of rocks from within this building. So if they like their set, on this sheet, they'll try to keep them. And that's another thing that you play for here is no choice of rocks. So if you get choice of rocks, and you can obviously look back and say whether the red ones have won all the time on a sheet. You might want that set from there. So,
and you track the rocks all week. You start from the initial practices that you have on each sheet, and then you track them all week. You talk to your friends who will give you information, other teams, the women's teams, and you get a pretty good book of rocks. So by the end, you know what you want. And you have to pick one complete set of rocks from one sheet. You can't pick, I want the 1 and 2 rock off that sheet, the 3 and 4.
You want more or less?
I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay, because I know that we would always try to find the pair of rocks that we liked out there.
And try and take just those 2?
Always trying to find a good set. So.
Line's good.
And I think maybe each competition might be a little bit different.
Yep.
I'm just remembering at the Masters, but then again, the men's and the ladies are normally sometimes playing next door to each other, and in this championship, it's all on this sheet.
Probably a lot depending on the facility that you have to work with.
Or just there's good. Good shot, Russ.
I'm sure our buddy Al Cameron will come over and advise us.
I'm quite certain that with this one, on all the finals medal games being on this side, I don't know that anybody would want to bring the rocks that are on the other sheets over into this side of the building, even if they were able to. So
that's true.
But
ice might be a little bit different over here.
And anyways, they will have good rocks because I haven't seen too many players switching them around. And the ice has stayed pretty consistent through the whole course of 8 ends. And if any sheet is going to be worn down, it'll be this one because we've had a lot of hard sweeping early in this one.
Right.
And we'll see if anything starts to really fudge up the middle. Haven't noticed it. Everybody's still making some really nice shots at the end here, so.
I think the only rock that we ever thought had maybe was a little bit more of a cutter. Terry Miller from the Yukon chose that rock to throw as a skip, and he played an amazing game.
Exactly. So yeah, sometimes some skips like to do that.
I think we might, yeah.
They want the cutter.
They don't pick out the tendency on it, and they'll work with it. So our first hit of the end here, if you look in the back corner, there is no granite. Everything is on the rings or above.
They get jiggled around or something.
And Randy is finally saying, okay, enough. Let's start do some banging here. So
I didn't think these Saskatchewan boys did that. I thought they kept it pretty clean.
Well, you get those 7-second hits, you can get a lot of things happening down there. So this is Russ Bryden throwing his heater down here.
Good sweep,
Hard,
Troy.
hard, hard. Nice.
So looking for the, was a double raise. Chopped that yellow, or that yellow into the red and knocked the red into the open, leaving 3 yellows kind of half buried. One of them locked on for a pretty easy double. So you got Grant kind of come around all those staggered guards. You got a set of yellow staggered and red staggered.
And what do we say about staggered guards? Use them or lose them?
Line's tight.
That's right.
Hal, just wait, just wait.
So waiting for this one to come up a little bit.
It's nice.
It's real good.
You like the weight.
It's real good.
Real good.
Real good.
Trying to get this
Come
one
hard at the end.
right in the top button around all that cover.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it seems to be sliding pretty good. It's going to go well behind the tee line.
Oh, he's not going to like that shot.
Yeah,
too
Randy
much.
pounding this one right to the back. So yeah, a little heavy on that one. I don't know if that spot fooled the sweepers a little bit because they thought it was pretty good early.
Yeah, but I had it made.
Well, you had it made until you hit the back of the house.
Nice, yeah, it was nicely buried. The line was perfect. So decision time a little bit here for Randy. Plays the red double. He's contemplating a timeout. Just looking at their time clocks. Both teams with a little over 7 minutes left.
It's not call time yet.
No, they're not calling time.
They're talking about it, but nobody's making the motion. So the clocks will continue to run. And now Randy says, nope, he called the time. All right, so they'll have a minute to discuss this before their clocks fire up again. They still have plenty of time, even if the clocks do kick back in here. So
Or you just do this.
let's listen in for a bit.
Push that out. Maybe just even touch this to here. Sit here. This sits here. Push this to here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a tougher shot.
Good discussion.
Could, yeah.
Do you think you can can we cross the face a little or no?
No.
No, I don't think so, eh?
Maybe that's tough. You almost got to get a nose hit.
Yeah.
You're gonna push that one out.
And we could just try the double.
Yeah.
You just play the double. He throws this.
Or
Well,
he might
play the double then.
That's fine though.
Yeah.
And we draw around.
Yeah.
So what do you?
I don't know. If I think I could throw wall and just.
I don't mind wall or bumper at this one, because then if we tick this, we'll save both these.
Yeah.
Squirt that one over.
Well, on bumper, we might be able to save it, eh?
It depends how. Yeah, we're trying this though, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if we tick this, we're only hitting an inch of it, but yeah,
I think
hopefully.
you could probably make this with wall. It's just a tough.
Which shot?
This.
Oh.
And even you hit and turn here, it goes on. I just don't know how much we're going to push it.
I'll leave it to you two.
Or this. What do you like, Troy?
What do you
Whatever
like,
you like
Troy?
to shoot.
I'm good with either. I like this.
I'm just worried if we play our reds, or yellows, it's not going to get the red.
Well, yeah, he's not. I don't think he's removing the red. He's
just go over
rolling
the
in
top.
front of it.
Let's give this a go, eh?
Okay.
Okay, Dan, what do you like here?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to discuss, I think, the biggest issue that Randy has here is that these two yellows are overlapped, and he can't really move anything into that 4-foot right now. So he's going to try to play this yellow off of his own yellow and into this red, probably removing that one with the weight that they're going to be playing on this one, and hopefully just try to stick him behind.
Yep.
Could have played the outside red, but rolling away would have given New Brunswick a chance to get in the whole pile. This one's coming up inside that 4-foot line, trying to hold it out. It didn't want to touch that top one, so it didn't really change anything in the house here. But he did remove that one and take away that in-turn draw that Mike would have had. Now it is still there to go wide around that and still get a piece of the 4-foot.
Around it, Grant.
Or he could tap up his red one too.
That's what they're saying. What?
All right, that should
That's a good guard, and there's lots of room to come around that. He does just have to outcount that yellow in the top 8-foot. So Unfortunately for Randy, he didn't unlock those 2 yellows, so he doesn't really have anything that's going to go in the
Nice
4-foot
weight.
area out of those. So
I think that's the first rock we've seen that they've actually wrecked on the guard or hit the guard going by.
So
Didn't
last
get by
of, yeah, last of third rock here for Mark Lecoq.
Uh-oh.
That wasn't me.
That was a red card.
That was a little deep on this one. A lot deep on this one. So getting out of the good stuff, and we've found that the good stuff is actually better. Early in the game, it's a little bit slower than the middle because everybody plays, but then the outside just stays fast. Whether it's just the foot traffic or whatever it is, it just seems to keen up out
It's
there.
been that way all week.
And because it runs straighter. So Randy gets another shot at this one. Got a little more of it to see because they chipped that guard out of there last time. So Troy Robinson looking for basically a nose hit on this one to keep his yellow right there.
He did pop it out a little bit.
Yeah, it is coming up. Didn't really fire this one. I think he's still going to get it the outside. Does he remove that red? Does he get it far enough? No.
He got it far enough. He's sitting a shot rock, but I don't think that's going to really help him.
But he left that red back there for second shot.
Yeah.
Double's not good. It's kind of
However, not in a bad spot because for Mike to hit and roll under, there's a good chance he jam that one back
Double
there.
was sitting 3.
hack.
I kind of like the double off the one in the 12.
There's lots of room there, though, that he might not
Even if
jam
you
it either.
don't- If you hit that one, you're still in good shape, right? You there?
Okay.
At least second and third. Can you give him a double back there? You're not doing our shoot. Do you know if we used our timeout?
40 flop in.
Yeah, I think I like this for Mike, looking to flop in a little bit because Randy might just ignore everything and just try to draw around all that cover.
Should be able to hold that. You're probably going to have to hold this.
Yeah, I think it's fairly straight there. There's a move.
Trying to maybe steal the hammer away with a steal here.
Yeah, I think.
Just a one update on the other side. British Columbia women and Quebec women. Quebec has stolen one in the 7th end, so they're up 5-2 coming home without the hammer. A must win for both teams.
Right. And Quebec has actually pulled up ahead of Manitoba on our other game over here, 6-3.
Yep. Whoa.
Nova Scotia continues to lead. They're now up 7-3.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
First rock here for Mike Kennedy. Looking to hit and roll under and avoid that back one. Looks like he's chipped it a little.
There we go.
But he's got a nice roll under, just peeking out a little. Not much of a hole there for Randy Bryden to get through. There is enough for a rock though, and he can fire a pretty hard when it gets straight through. He's looking at it to see if he can make it and stay.
That's a pretty tough little hole there, but I think it's there.
You know,
We'll see what Randy thinks.
There is a stagger that does help him. It gives him a little bit more room to get through.
True.
And he does want to come into this rock and stay, so maybe not needing the full high hard hit here. Or he has the out-turn draw to the button right around it.
He does not have. Oh no, he does have the hammer.
I think I would elect to maybe come around there, but how do you get your second point then, right? So
playing for one, and so he would be one up, and he wouldn't have the hammer coming home.
Well, Saskatchewan's still two rocks here with the hammer, so best way to get your deuce. So now he's actually looking at raising that red guard in, peeling those out, maybe going to try to bring all his little kickers in.
Again, we're playing the 7th end, so where do you want to be at the end of 7, right? So what are you playing for?
Well, if he gives up a steal here, he's down a couple.
Right.
Have a little bit of heel here.
From here,
got to get his one.
I'm
thinking he has to get one.
Definitely want to leave yourself something for him. Maybe that's why he's opening up both sides for his draw.
Then I open, he has to guard. Yeah.
Either or.
There is a thought process there, so
There you
that's
go.
good. 3 shots ahead.
However, the guard could be another one that comes right into the 4-foot and taps that one.
Right.
Try it or?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, so now they've looked at the hole from the other end, saying, I think I can get right
Just
through there.
regular soft peel?
Yeah.
Maybe a little squirt through.
Right through without touching anything. Hit that shot rock on the 4-foot.
Big shot by Randy Bryden.
So
Saw his shot last in and it was big and he made it.
I like his idea of a soft peel. Maybe only like 8 seconds. He's close.
He's on the front one.
He's all over his yellow on the top.
Oh, just came off that other one.
Yep. Got rid of one of his own kickers. Opened up the hole in there.
Yeah, just draw in.
That was a 7-7 soft peel.
Why not sit
So
through
New
here?
Brunswick has an opportunity here to draw in another one and put the pressure on.
Yeah, leading by
Randy
one
with-
here. They can.
Like that or the guard?
I don't think the guard's that bad because that rock is what, top 4 foot?
Yeah,
Randy
that-
Bryden would have to draw the pin,
Draw a pin coming around.
draw the Everest.
New Brunswick is sitting 2, so there really isn't a multiple score here left for Randy. So just making his point the hardest to
It
get.
is.
Oh, okay.
I like here.
Drill the hole or take away his draw to the button.
He's saying there's a double there for 2, but I don't know where the double is.
Through the hole.
That's the best.
Right through the hole, right on the nose, and take off that back
You
one.
guys like it? I love it.
I don't mind it.
There is that double that is left here. Get that one out of the back.
Oh, I see.
Count
'cause
that one,
That yellow
so-
one there, I got it.
So he is just going to come around the wide side, put a second one, actually to sit a third one in here.
Get one in there.
And actually, Randy did just throw that heater through that hole, so that double is definitely there for him.
That was a heater.
Soft peel. I want to see his hard peel.
Ooh. Ouch.
So last rock here in the 7th end for Mike Kennedy in New Brunswick.
We need it for weight.
Room.
We need it for weight.
Weight's pretty good.
They can get this one to curl around that center guard and maybe cover up that shot rock a little bit and take away some of that draw to the
Saying
forefoot.
they need it for weight, but they don't have the second sweeper on it.
Go!
Yeah, they switched around trying to get this there. Just got to count that other yellow. It's full 12.
Keep going.
Need another foot. Looks like they're going to get
Oh,
it
he
there.
got it. Just.
And they did. Good scrub.
Told you.
Told you.
Soft hit.
Okay.
Bumper a wall or soft hit, a wall.
Okay, so this is a hit for 1.
Basically, yeah.
Now.
Through the hole.
Yeah, maybe this.
So big shot here for Randy, wanting to try to tie this all up coming home.
So he
Without
doesn't
the
want
hammer.
to throw a 7-second hit here. He needs to have a controlled
look at that.
weight hit. He needs to hang around here.
Wants to stay, but he's got to navigate the port first.
Or else he's going to be giving up a couple if this rock doesn't stick around, right?
Yep. So last rock here in the 7th end. Randy Bryden with Saskatchewan. Hit and stay through the port for his 1. I did just play this with some firm weight. Going to take a little bit off of this one.
And it could go with a little bit less weight.
Right.
Oh, he's all
And-
over the guard.
Yeah.
I think it picked, actually.
Yeah, he didn't. He looked down. He did not like that one. And let's see what ends up happening to this one. Does he jam it on that
no.
top and only give up 1? Oh, wow. Nope. 1. There was 2 actually at the back.
There's 1,
Looking like
2,
it's going to be
3.
3 here. So big steal of 3 for Manitoba, or sorry, New Brunswick in that end. And they now have a 7-3 lead. And
That's a bad break for
we'll see
Randy
if these
Bryden.
guys are gonna play him back, or I think Saskatchewan's gonna try. They're gonna try to give it one more and see if they can score 4 enders. So we will be back with the 8th end action right after this.
Curling means so much to our family. Obviously, it's a big part of our life. Isabella always says that she wants to be an Olympic champion curler when she grows up, which just melts my heart. But it also has shown them that if you work hard, anything is possible. If I was to ask them if they wanted to chase a dream, they believe that anything is possible as long as they put the work in, and it's because of watching us on the ice.
Everest is here to support you in the moments that matter. Learn how at everestfuneral.ca.
It takes passion and a whole lot of dedication to meet Cavendish Farms' high standards. To become an epic late night snack. Part of the ultimate breakfast. and the dinner crew crowd pleaser. From Canada's favorite French fries to onion rings, hash browns, and potato tots, Canadians can count on Cavendish Farms to serve top quality every time. Cavendish Farms, made our way, enjoy your way.
A little more.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Everest Senior Curling Championships in Moncton, New Brunswick. Dan Holowichuk here, along with Penny Shantz.
I don't think so.
And our feature game, New Brunswick with a big steal of 3 in the 7th end, now have a 7-3 lead, and not looking very good for Saskatchewan. Updates on some of our other games that are on this side. We did have Ontario score a big 3-ender in 7, but still trail Nova Scotia 7-6 in that game on Sheet A. Sheet B, as we mentioned, that one over Alberta over BC 8-1. And the other game on the sheet beside us, Quebec still carrying the lead into the 8th end with a 6-3 lead. Manitoba having the hammer. And on to the ladies' games.
PEI in Northern Ontario. PEI won that game 10-4. That game wasn't, it didn't mean anything in the medal round. BC and Quebec. Quebec has won that game 5-3. So Quebec will go on, and I believe they'll be our 4th contender in the medal round.
Yeah, we'll continue to bring you updates as we can. You guys can check everything out on curling.ca/scoreboard, as everything will be updated on there for the standings.
Right.
We may not get to all those by the time this match is over. So
yeah.
Check that out. We'll give you what we can. Keep going there, Penny.
Alberta playing Saskatchewan. Alberta won that game 8-2 over Saskatchewan. And Ontario and Nova Scotia are in a 6-6 tie, playing an extra end.
They just put that up as we were talking, yeah. So what a battle for first place in the ladies. They ain't going down to the wires. They want that. Somebody wants that hammer.
Somebody wants it.
Right.
So it looks like Nova Scotia has the hammer in the extra end.
Right. So maybe we'll get that to you. This one could be over a little bit early, as Saskatchewan needing 4 to keep this game going. They do have the 2 guards up.
And I think Grant will be looking at just eliminating rocks at this point.
Yeah.
Hurry for line 5.
Just want to mention that Grant was inducted into the New Brunswick Curling Hall of Fame this year. So congratulations to Grant Odishaw.
Just the 3-4.
Nice.
3-4.
Terry, are you in there?
Switch.
Hmm.
Curl. Yep, there it goes. There it's going.
Like I said before, Grant does a lot of clinics across the country with Russ Howard and Marianne Arsenal, the Academy of Curling Clinic. And they do an amazing job going to clubs and do clinics. And just one more clinic like the 4-foot camp.
Right.
That help curlers make them better.
High performance stuff. So Brunswick just needing to remove 4 stones from Saskatchewan, and I don't know that those 2 guards can be promoted, so I'm going to start doing the math here, and there's probably just need to get rid of about a couple more here.
Yeah, you know, Dan, I'm not sure I would have played this end. I think I might have 4 down coming home and
take the rest of the night off.
Yeah.
Get back at it tomorrow.
Have a nice
into our medal round games, which we have an early start tomorrow, starting at 8:30 in the morning, and then at 12:30 and 3:30 are the ladies' final. 12:30 is the men's final, and that is Atlantic time. So.
And I think we are doing a men's semifinal game on our sheet.
Right. So
and
that's
then the men's gold, and then the ladies' gold.
So back-to-back men tomorrow morning. Get up early to watch those ones. If you can't get up early, you can still go to the YouTube website, youtube.com/Curling Canada. All the games are on there. You can review them. Just looking over at the sheet beside us while this throw-through is coming in. And there is like a pile of rocks in the 4-foot. So 6-3 match, and Manitoba's going to need a pile. And there is a pile in there. But
and there's a pile of their rocks in there.
Yeah.
Good shot.
And that's one more yellow one in the corner.
We can go out turn through that hole or enter.
So trying to use the side where there is 2 potential guards, And New Brunswick basically will just make sure that they can open up at least one of them.
It might run better out there, but
Really a tall task to ask for a score of 4 just to extend this one.
Your rock, Russ.
now it's going. Still room.
Pretty much needing this one to stay in the rings, taking it way back, bearing it around. It's got to hang on.
Okay, a shot.
And Grant, if you noticed, he kind of quit sweeping on that one as it was bearing farther in behind.
No,
Maybe
not
trying to
that
leave
way.
some of it exposed.
The other way. Yeah.
Yeah. Team just wanted to just peel this out on the short side and maybe even a double peel. Not wanting to risk running this one into the red one in the house. So just straight peel here for Mark Lecoq. Mike Kennedy giving her a scrub, trying to hold it out there. Double peel, 2 more yellow ones going. We got one going into our cameraman. Randy playing goalie back there and stopping it from going on the Sheet C game.
Probably had half around that. Yeah.
I do know in that game over there with Nova Scotia and Ontario that there is rocks in play. There is Nova Scotia has a rock on the button.
No, about the same.
Yeah, for line.
No, that's like a good old grudge match of former champions out there on Sheet A.
Okay, whoa.
Playing for their pride.
Freeze it. Whoa.
Corner it.
We're not even there.
Corner it.
For, corner freeze on this one.
I just picked 2, eh?
Yeah.
So
having a problem with a few.
Thought that
rocks
one's
picking,
grabbing.
right?
Maybe a little later in the game, we did hear them say that they might try to nip a little bit more to give it some curl. And if that happens, the way these guys are sweeping early on this game, they may have flattened it out a little bit more.
They might have, yeah. Because we have not seen as many rocks do this that we've seen the whole week.
Yep. So this is Mike Kennedy's favorite shot. Wide open hit, nothing in the way, make it go away for the win. You like these as a skip, Penny?
I actually like a draw to the 4-foot.
For the button for the win.
Bad?
Pressure? No.
Yeah.
Nope. And no doubt about this one. And
there you go.
No more rocks required in this game. We do have a wrap, and it remains 7-3. New Brunswick over Saskatchewan.
We can't tell you who's playing who in the morning, but we will see you in the morning.
You come back at 8:30 tomorrow morning Atlantic time, and we'll give you all the results. And if you can't wait that long, go to curling.ca/scoreboard, and you can follow along there with all the standings, and they will let you know who is in the championship round. So on behalf of myself, Dan Holowaychik, and Penny Shantz, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our final day, draw number 20. Okay, we'll see you all later.
Take care.
Thanks.